Question type: completing schematic tables. In the reading section of the TOEFL IBT, you may be asked to complete a schematic table. A schematic table outlines the key information from a reading passage. This kind of question has 5 or 7 correct answers. A question which has 5 correct answers is worth 3 points. You will receive 3 points for 5 correct answers, 2 points for 4 correct answers, 1 point for 3 correct answers, and 0 points for 2, 1, or 0 correct answers. A question with 7 correct answers is worth 4 points. In this case, you will receive 4 points for 7 correct answers, 3 points for 6 correct answers, and 2 points for 5 correct answers, and 0 points for 3, 2, or 1 correct answers. Since this is a multi-point TOEFL IBT reading question type, you will need to get as many points as possible so that your overall reading score is high. To complete this question successfully, you will need to recognize the overall organization of the information of the passage, including the major points and the most important supporting points. Pause the video to see an example of a reading passage for this type of question type. The passage will be included on one screen and the question will be included on another. While answering this question, you can click back and forth between the question and the reading passage. Pause the video now to read the directions, the question, and the answer choices. The passage discusses 2 rivers. One is the Hindi-Ganga River, which is the most sacred river for Hindus. Additionally, the Ganga's most commercially important and westernmost channel to the Bay of Bengal is the Hooghly. Finally, the Ganges' westernmost channel to the Bay of Bengal, the Hooghly receives untreated sewage and chemical waste from more than 100 cities. From this information, it can be determined that the Ganges has religious and business underpinnings, is a commercial gateway to the Bay of Bengal, and is unprotected from pollution. Therefore, these are 3 correct answers that describe the Hindi-Ganga River. The passage also states that the Nile River in Africa is the world's longest river at 6,695 kilometers. Its remotest headstream is the Kagera River in Burundi. It flows over rocky country, and there are many cataracts and rapids, and from here it flows across flat country and in places spreads out to form lakes. From these 4 descriptions, it can be concluded that the Nile is longer than any other river in the world, begins in Burundi, has many rapids and waterfalls, and near its end, it spreads out and forms lakes. As a result, these are 4 correct answers that describe the Nile River. The remaining 2 answers are not part of the solution. The description that one of the rivers flows into the Pacific Ocean is incorrect, since it doesn't describe either river. The answer that one of the rivers is a long river is not a factor that differentiates the Hindi-Ganga from the Nile. Both rivers are long, even though the Nile, of course, is longer. Look at another example of a question that asks you to complete a schematic table. Pause the video to read the passage now. The passage will be included on one screen, and the question will be included on another. While answering this question, you can click back and forth between the question and the reading passage. Pause the video to read the question and the answer choices now. The passage discusses two kinds of birds: the bald eagle and the great horned owl. The bald eagle, whose total numbers have declined greatly since Europeans came to North America, is known scientifically as Helieptis leucocephalus. Helieptis for sea eagle, and leucocephalus in reference to its white head. From this, it can be determined that the eagle has seen a decline in its numbers and has a white head. Therefore, these are two correct answers that describe the bald eagle. In reference to the great horned owl, the passage states that the owl has enormous yellow eyes, that it is found in virtually all of the forested and semi-forested regions of North, Central, and South America, and that it is a predator that hunts at night. Hence, it can be determined from this information that the owl has large yellow eyes, is a ubiquitous bird of prey. Ubiquitous means very common, and finds food in darkness. The remaining two answer choices are not part of the solution. That one of the birds is found in Canada is not a distinguishing characteristic for either species. Both birds are found in Canada. Finally, the fact that one of the birds is extinct is simply untrue. In certain locations, the eagle is endangered but not extinct, and the owl is quite common in many locations. Test-taking strategy. 1. It is easy to identify this question because a schematic table is given. 2. You will need to have an understanding of the main point and the most important supporting points of the reading passage, so the answers to this type of question are found throughout the passage. 3. To answer this question accurately and quickly, you should follow 6 steps. Pay particular attention to the information provided in the schematic table. Read the passage, keeping in mind the main points as they relate to the topics in the schematic table. Read each answer choice, evaluating whether it is true, false, or not discussed in the passage. Eliminate any answer choice that is false or not discussed. Match the true answers according to their respective category in the schematic table. Remember that partial credit is possible, and your answers may appear in any order. 4. A question with 5 correct answers is worth 3 points. You get 3 points for 5 correct answers. You get 2 points for 4 correct answers. You get 1 point for 3 correct answers. You get 0 points for 2, 1, or 0 correct answers. 5. A question with 7 correct answers is worth 4 points. You get 4 points for 7 correct answers. You get 3 points for 6 correct answers. You get 2 points for 5 correct answers. You get 1 point for 4 correct answers. You get 0 points for 3, 2, 1, or 0 correct answers.